Up, guys? This is Daihuu from Vox Nihili recording some content. Now, I know you guys on Reddit, you were like, Daihuu, you guys did not give any content. Come on, pros suck. Why should we support them? You guys are right. We don't get enough content out there. That should change. And I understand that. So here we go. This would be this is the qualifying match, game two, going into Burbank against Blaze. And I picked this one in particular because one, it was like a couple weeks ago, so I won't really give out anything leading into the event. And two, I remember this one pretty well. So Blaze took us to this map during the Heroes United match, and they bopped us. We went with a bad draft. They had a really good draft, and they like 3-leveled us. So this was their map choice, and they thought they could beat us again. But we were ready this time. So let's go into this, okay? Let's go into the comps. Now we have a great comp for burning. ETC 15% attack speed buff. I don't recall correctly, but one of my teammates said it was like 115% damage increase if you hit 5 people with your speed buff when you're racing. And Li Ming poke, Sylvanas poke, like we're so good at burning the immortal. The enemy team, they're okay at it. The issue is Joe doesn't really do much other than stop the enemy team from racing. So you're gonna see her do a lot of that during this game. So let's get into it. Nothing going on here. A lot of teams go into the middle to see if they could fight, and our comp is really good for fighting. We have great poke, good damage, but theirs is as well. They just don't have a lot of engage at all. They need Thrall to start off, missed, and then like Thrall roots someone into Vala, pokes into Oddish, Falstead pokes, and then Joe just sits there and regular bites them. That's it. Meanwhile, we have double stun into all this damage, so it's pretty equal in that way. So nothing happens. Usually on this map, if you have Sylvanas, you really want to see if you can cheese the enemy team. Taking towers early is so good if you can get away with it. And here we go, we're posturing for it, we're pushing the wave. I'm walking up to give my teammates the attack speed buff, and we're racing. Now, the natural response to this, if you are Blaze, or if you're Blaze, should be to push our towers in right here. Unless you had people preemptively waiting to stop it, because they didn't have anyone immediately there to stop. It would have been better just to trade wall for wall, and that is generally the response here. But since they managed to get up here in time, it was okay. We didn't take the tower, they didn't take anything down here. It was just fair trade, and we forced 4 people to come up. So with double tank, you put a lot of pressure on the map with not showing. That is what I do a lot here. I do not show on the map. It is #1 rule for tanks, in my opinion. Okay, you need to be the ward of your team. You need to be, you know, those little ghosts in League of Legends, the ones that the twin spirits thing that fly around, right? Spooky ghosts. You need to be a spooky ghost. You need to walk around. You need to give vision to your team, and you shouldn't be scared to do that. You are one of the tankiest. You usually play the tankiest characters in the game, one of the tankiest. So don't be afraid. So I make a lot of rotations, and if you notice, when I disappear off the map, like when Zeus and I disappear off the map, they can't push up. They cannot force this wave to go into our tower. They have to respect us. See here, like they could be pushing out the wave here, but they knew we were rotating, so they didn't do anything. And Ishbu is doing a great job of being the ward for his team. He scouted us in the middle a couple of minutes prior to this. So when the Immortals come up, make sure that you, like when it says Immortal spawning 10 seconds, make sure that you already pushed out your wave, because the Immortals spawn at 145. They drop on the ground at 145. Let me play this out. 145, bam, they're on the ground. You want to make sure that your wave is pushed in and you're in the middle by 145. You shouldn't be, your wave shouldn't be cleared already, or you shouldn't be like trying to clear it right now 145. No, you should have cleared it by like 140 and then be here already. Even then, that's still like 140 is cutting it. Here we already had 4 people up in the middle by 145. Zeus had to clear up bottom. That was just because of the nature of his character. It might have been better if we sent someone down to help him, but regardless, we had people coming already, or we had people stationed here. So you have three ways, or the two best ways to deal with this. Okay, one, you can all five burn. That is a general tactic that a lot of people do. They just burn it. Or you can, or yeah, there's three ways. You can do a 4-1 where you have four people defending. In this case, it'd be us four defending, while let's say hypothetically Murden attacking this. Or you can just have five defend. That's the three ways you can deal. There's many other ways, but those are the three most common ways. And here we decided, I believe, to do the 4-1 split with Li Ming poking. So when Murden rotates up, there's a lot of kill pressure that we have, even with Li Ming not there. Li Ming can, if she goes like right here, she could poke the Immortal, and if we did ever slide in from this this part of the map, either Murden stun or ETC slide, she can come up and get the resets. So we posture her around this side, and then we threaten them on this side. Now what Blaze could do in response is, stay on this side, because it's harder for Li Ming to come up from the top left side. Here we saw Talion got overextended right here. Let me see if I can replay that without this computer breaking. Talion overextended trying to poke the Immortal, and I punished him for it. It was really unlucky that there was a circle here as well, I believe. So Zeus tells me, hey, let's go on him, and then coincidentally a circle came. He just gets destroyed. OC came up for the damage, and we're just poking, and we say leave. Our tanks are cooldown reliant, so that's why I left that fight. I couldn't do anything else after other than mitigate damage, and then we called to burn it here. We called to burn it. I should have came down sooner to give everyone the attack speed buff, and we would have wiped it. I was just afraid that they would still burn it, which was an optimal choice for them. So let's see here. We're leaving now. They're coming back. Oddish, for some reason, ease in. Hosty took a lot of damage as well, so we just say, let's go tap, chill. I believe, didn't get it to halftime yet. And halftime is when it gets to half health and it switches forms. So we're trying to get it to halftime. I'm trying to defend this with Goat. We could have just forced it as well, but it was more high risk to force. And here we decided to burn. So here, if you lose halftime, it's really bad, especially with how bad they lost it. You only have two choices. You either try to burn and try to shave off as much HP as you can, or you 5-man defend, or you do a 4-1. Sorry, that's 3 ways to do it. With their comp, we weren't threatened by their 5-man if they decided to do it, and if they just did a 4-1, then we were extremely not scared, so we were like, okay, just burn. There's no point trying to fight them at all, just burn. Because we have EDC, we have Murden, we have Monk, Li Ming, and Sylvanas. Like, if we win the Immortal, we get so much value. And here they tried to do the 4-1, but Vala doesn't do enough damage to scare us at all. The only person that wasn't in this game, which is Greymane, which is banned by them. So the better way for Blaze to have done it here was to send Falstead to burn it, because they could fly in behind us. If we were like right here, like you see where Johanna is, if we were right there, all five of us just pushing, trying to kill the Immortal, he could just fly behind us and they just body us. And Vala does more damage to the tanks right now, at least. So that would have been better. But instead they sent Oddish here. Thrall overextended. Zeus told me to slide. I punished it, and bang 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 baboozle, we got it. Now this event leading up is the worst possible scenario for Blaze. Now you are going to lose a fort guaranteed with Sylvanas on your team. If you get the Immortal and you have Sylvanas on your team, you will lose a fort. It doesn't matter if you have walls. Doesn't matter if you have godlike defenders like Kel'Thas or like, I don't know, Hammer. You will lose your fort. And that's okay, I guess. Like, given the circumstances, that's okay. To just lose your fort. You will lose more if you continually die, and that is exactly what happens. And it's an oversight by Blaze. So let's see. I tried to slide on Talion. I was way too slow in my reaction there. He was overextended. If you were defending this Immortal, let me say this now. If you were defending this Immortal and you are a melee, do not stand outside the gate. You will die. If the tanks are watching you, if a tank or a tanks, whatever, is watching you, trying to walk out, they will slide on you, they will stun you, you will die. Doesn't matter if you're, I guess if you're Joe, it's okay, but You shouldn't step out the gate. Let your DPS hit the immortal like Talion is from beneath over the gate. Here, let's see. I can't check my cooldowns, but I'm looking for the slide. Talion overextended here. Let's watch that one more time. So here, right, if your gate's about to drop, just back up a little bit, back away. I'm going to be looking for kills. Tanks always look for kills in this scenario. They will force you to get off the immortal whenever way possible. You cannot punish them hard enough. The enemy team cannot punish me hard enough, especially when Lex has protective shield on and he's monk. They cannot kill me. And my teammates will dish out more damage than the enemy team right now. Especially if I slide on them. So here, the gate broke immediately. I slid. Talion dies. I delay my W so that after my slide stun duration goes off, the W will still have them in CC, and then they get stunned by the circle, and then they just die. Then now I mount up to put more pressure on their backline. If you see, I start to walk up a little bit here. I am scaring them. This is zoning. I am zoning them away from hitting the immortal. The only person that can hit it is Oddish, but she's completely zoned by me, and yeah, that's pretty much it. This is when Zeus starts to rotate because there's nothing else to do top, and he realizes that we're getting kills. As a tank, by the way, it's very important to mount up when stuff like this is going on, and you don't need to do much. After ETC attack speed buffs everyone, and he still has slide, there's no other reason, unless you really need to output DPS by your right clicks, there's no reason to still be unmounted. You mount up, you scare the enemy team, that is what a tank does. He's a ward, he scares people. Pretend you're the boogeyman. And like I said before, if you're a DPS, if you're a ranged DPS, do not stand outside your gate to damage the immortal. This is what happens if you stand outside your gate. I actually got kind of lucky here because I don't know. I just got extremely lucky there. Oddish didn't E away in time. I killed her, and then we get more value from this now. So we're breaking the gate to put more pressure. This is where Hosty tells me, look at Vala. I'm like, okay. I don't think Vala will be in range, but here we go. Vala continually tries to DPS here. Now here's the thing. I am walking up. I am telegraphing this so hard that I will slide you. If it's too dangerous to damage it, do not walk up either. It's better to show presence than to do it. You know how ETC players hold mosh for like 90 years, and then you're looking at the replay or you're looking at the game live, and you're just like, why isn't he moshing? It's better to be there or hold it than to actually use it. Obviously, there are cases where you get like a 5-minute mosh and then you're the king of the world, right? But the fact that Talion, if he was like just in the area, it would be scarier for us to walk up and damage things. If he was out of range of me, if he was just trying to hit the immortal safely, it would have been fine. But because he walked up too far, he just died. I didn't even have to time my CC there, which is the Q, walk up, wait a bit, W. Hosty just obliterated him, and because he died, we got the keep for it. We got so much value. Also, Ishbu didn't rotate in time to blind us, so that was poor as well. And he's like not doing anything. Also, he popped D a little bit too early, so this is bad info feeding from his team. His team should be like, ETC no slide, or yeah, that's just the best way to do it. ETC no slide, I died from Vala. And then Ishbu would walk in and be like, okay, the only stun they have is Muradin. So, I don't have to D here. I don't have to Unstoppable. But because we saw that he popped Unstoppable, we just kill him, we body block him, or try to at least. I sucked at it. I didn't even try, we just killed him. And then we leave. So, we got a 4, and we got a keep, and we got like 3 kills. All because they did not play safe. They did not stand behind the gate and chill and play away. So we're 2 levels ahead. We got to keep. This is the best possible outcome for us that we could have gotten. The most extreme outcome was us just winning the game purely. So what do we do now? What do you do on this map when there's nothing else to do? You do camps. Camps are really good for pressure in general. They push waves. You force the rotation on the enemy team. So we do bottom camp because we know that they have to clear this anyways. In retrospect, it probably would have been a better idea to just run top and take the top camp, because there's if you look at the map, right, bottom side completely empty for the enemy team, right? So they have no forts to run back to. So they would not try to take this camp. It's so dangerous. It's so high risk. They wouldn't lose the game because the death timers are too short, but they would just die. There's no reason to be down here. So in retrospect, probably a better idea for us to have recall, ran straight to top, take the camp, and then take this wall and then take bot camp. But it's okay. This was a great cleanse by Rhaegar. We're just trying to maximize the everything right now. I didn't see Talion. If I saw him right here when I slid, he would have died. But it's okay. It's whatever. So we cleared the camp right away. Ishbu's doing a great job of clearing the catapult and stuff down here. Here we cleared our camp, so it literally got no value other than us removing the camp off the map. And yeah, that's it. So we're racing to 10 right now. If I recall correctly, Blaze doesn't get to 10 in time. They get to like 9-ish. Case in point, it's also or not case in point, but it's a bad idea to. Or not a bad idea. It's really dangerous to be pushing this so far up. He saw us. He saw 2 of us still up here, but he didn't see Muradin, Karazim, or Sylvanas. So it's really, really scary to be up this far. We could have also invaded their knights, so he should have pushed up this wave one time and then came up here and anchored for his team. Because what if we invaded their knights? They would have lost knights, and then we would have taken their our own knights. In retrospect, we were playing too safe here because we just wanted to qualify. We didn't want to make any risks. But we're 10 to 8. We should have invaded their knights. Knights was so free for us. Instead, we just did our knights. Let's see what we do. I believe we just force the immortal. Now, what Blaze should be doing right now is sacking it, because sacrificing it and soaking. Not soaking bottom because it's going to be pushed out, but soaking top because it's relatively safe. Or, they can soak bottom too. The reason is they're so far behind right now. They're 10 to 8 that they can't even contest us anyways. We will literally. It doesn't matter if they have cleanse either. We will literally kill anyone that walks up. And it's generally a bad idea just to sit here. So we could force it, which I think we should have. But instead, I think we just decided to send Goat to clear the night camp, and then I believe we said after he clears the knights, we walk up and force it. So we saw Faustin up top, and we're like, okay, let's go. Pull the trigger. Here I am. Let me rewind it a bit because I didn't catch what I was doing. Here I am creating pressure again. I am pressuring by being away off of the map. I don't know how to give or eliminate vision from everyone. So just believe me when I say that they can't see me right now. They can't see me, and they know that Zeus is on the top side because Thrall just rooted him. So they are hella pressured right now. I could be anywhere. I could be back here. I could be over here. I could. Well, there's only 2 possible locations at the moment. I could be up here if I was crazy. So I'm creating so much pressure just by not being in this area right here. They cannot walk down here without being threatened. And we're just slowly poking it. We don't have to force too hard. I see Thrall. I believe I slide on him. I don't really recall what happens. Yeah, I slide on Ishbu just to apply pressure, force him off. That's the D. We can kill him now if we decide to, or if we see the opportunity rather. We force the halftime. They're still not 10s. It's better to force this if you're ahead, because they can't catch up in time. There's no way they can, unless you just don't do anything for like 2 minutes. I believe Hosty went to tap here, so we didn't have all our damage. And he did say that to us, but Johanna walked up. So we're defending. I forget why we were defending, because we could have just burned. But let me just rewind that real quick. So we said we were going to defend, and they were walking up trying to burn it. Let's see here. We see Muradin right here, right? He's applying pressure to the back line, so it drew attention away from me. And then I go around to the side. You do not know where I am at the moment. And then I see 2 people here, and I go for the mosh. I know the Rhaegar isn't close. Johanna doesn't have shield yet. She's too far away to pull. And we kill Vala. Johanna goes next, and then we get the immortal. Let's kill. Yeah, we do kill Rebel. We delayed his death, I believe. I'm not quite sure what happens here. Let's just watch this. No, we don't delay his death. Generally, if you can, if it's like Uther or something, it's better to delay the other person's death. If you know how in Hero League, where like let's say your Lily dies right first, and then you die like 10 seconds later. Stacking deaths like that, dying together is a good thing, But if it keeps going one by one by one by one, it is terrible because you lose so much off the map. This game is so team centric. If you don't have one person there, it could literally mean the difference between you losing a fort or a keep or losing the game, as opposed to just like losing a wall or something. So don't try to die one by one by one. Either try to die together or don't die at all. Because it's better if, again, if a unit's there than not. So let me rewind this real quick because I want to mention what Muradin is doing, what Zeus is doing. So again, my number one rule for being a tank, like I said at the beginning of the game, or beginning of this replay, be a ward for your team, okay? If you're a safe character, or if you're just the only tank on the team, please ward for your team. Zeus right now is being a ward for our team. The only way that Blaze can get back into this game is if they do a super duper Godzilla flank on us. And Zeus is watching that angle. It's so important. If you're running double tank, have one of your tanks be a ward. If you're running single tank, have one of your tanks be a ward. If we didn't have Zeus as Muradin, I would still be pushing, but generally I would walk over here to these sides, over here somewhere. So he's watching, he's Muradin, he doesn't care if he takes damage, he can jump out like that. And we're pushing. Now this is a great flank by Thrall because generally people don't check that brush, even in high level games. But yeah, see, look, they were trying to go for a super duper flank, right? But Muradin's watching it. They cannot walk through this area. If he wasn't there, Thrall could have sundered, and they walk through here, and then I don't know what happens. We just get bodied. And right here, Blaze actually has to force the fight. Usually, when you're behind, right? You're usually going to be behind by at least a level or two. All the time, unless you're just getting bodied. So when you hit that talent tier, in this case 10 to 12, you force the issue. You force it before they hit 13. The enemy team should know that, and they should play safe. So right here, that's exactly what they did. Play safe. We knew they wanted to force it. They're still forcing it. They have to. They're so pressured right now. If I had Mosh, it would have been great. They force the fight here. Sylvanas is taking a lot of damage. Muradin jumps. Not a lot of things going on here. That was a great palm by Lex. We're just fighting. We're fighting. That's about it, really. Ishbu overextends here. We're doing absolutely nothing. We actually could have just kept fighting. I think we were waiting on our cooldowns. I don't know what we were doing here. I believe we were waiting for 13s. But then we were like, hey, wait a second. We have Sylvanas. Fighting every day. Ishbu pops his D too early. I can understand why he does. It's scary walking up to an ETC. Muradin went to tap here, and we're like, okay, what do we do now? I don't know what to do. We lost, boys. And then for some reason, Blaze decides, hey, let's fight. Yeah! And Ishbu's extremely overextended, and that was a great D by him, but we punish him for it. They don't have ults here, we know that. So I don't know why we're backing up, but we should be forcing a fight here. It's 13 to 11, so they don't have ults. This is when Zeus got annoyed at me. He was like, why aren't we fighting? Let's fight. I'm like, okay. So Muradin is now frontline tank, and I am back, and I'm trying to go for a flank here, and we get keep. We should have got keep while that Immortal was pushing. I don't know what we were doing, but yeah. So we get this keep as well, and this is checkmate. This is the worst possible scenario for anyone to be here on Battlefield of Eternity, because when the Immortal comes back up, the enemy team can stall for days. They can literally sit in the middle. They could go have some tea. They can go to a party. They can literally RSVP a dinner plan like 2 years in advance, and they can still win because there's catapults pushing into your core. They don't have to do anything. They sit there. They just chill. They're just like, what am I gonna do today? Okay, I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna go to the shower. I'm gonna eat some breakfast. Catapults are at their core. I'm gonna take a jog. Today's gonna be a great day. That's literally the thought process we had. And we even had they had to clear these camps because it even hastens the pace at which the catapults gets to the core, right? So again, take camps, force rotations. So let's see what's going on right here. I'm warding for my team. It should be Muradin, just because it's more unsafe for ETC to do it, but it's okay. It's whatever. And we're forcing in the middle here, or not forcing, but we're sitting in the middle. Again, early D. It didn't need it to happen. And this is the scenario that's going on right now, okay? What did I say before? I said we don't have to do anything, right? So here, I wanted to go in. I was like, oh my god, what do we do? Do we go in? Oh no, I don't know. And Go was like, no, 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 back, 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 back. And then we leave. See, we're leaving. Look what's happening. Top's pushing in, bottom's pushing in. They don't get anything for this. I believe they didn't pop a ult here. Nothing occurred. And then they're trying to race here, and we're just like, okay, stop them. Or not race, I'm sorry. They sent Vala to go, they did the 4-1, or rather, this is a 3-2. They sent Vala and Falstad to go attack this. I'm assuming they actually sent Falstad to clear, but he was in the area. So Talion is overextended right now, and we try to punish him, but it doesn't work. Ishbu is trying to force the issue, and he has to. Pops D again. Because look at this. This is pushing in. This is pushing in. You get another wave of catapults. You're trying to force one more time. We leave again. Peace. Talion is still trying to race. They have to force this. Like the longer it goes, the worse it gets for them. Now look, this is pushing into their core. We're still chilling. They have to send 2 people to go clear. As soon as we see Falstad, we're like, let's burn. Zeus, ward for the team. I will continually say that. Ward for the team. Also pressuring their backline. They have no idea where Murden is right now. They only see frontline ETC. He starts coming from the back. I don't think we try to force it again here. I think we're just like leave. Yeah, so we leave. He pops. This is a desperation sunder that happens because look now. Bam. Bam! 2 catapults. There's about to be 2 down here. About to be 2 more coming from top and bottom. We go back to defend one more time. They have to force this now or kill us. This is the only way they get back into the game. I know Mosh here, there's no point. Johanna still had shield, she's had everything else. Great silence. There's a team fight that occurs. We know they don't have Sunder, so we're not scared. Talon ain't pressed up too far. We're killing Murden. I'm sorry, they're killing Murden. There's the shield that came out for no reason. So let me watch that one more time. So if you're playing Johanna, you only have 2 ways to stop Mosh, right? Is the pull on W, the condemn, and the ult. You against ETC comps, you generally don't want to throw your ult unless you're guaranteed a kill. But since they did not have Sunder, there was no way they could guarantee that kill here. Let's watch Johanna here in this team fight. So he pops the shield. It honestly does nothing. Look, the damage was so minuscule that it literally didn't matter. It would have been better if he held it. And then the Gus denied the shield, so now they have no way to stop my Sunder unless Ishbu times the most godlike condemn I've ever seen in my entire life. This was just them panicking because look now, bam, 3 catapults per. That's a zinger. And then I realized they don't have any stops anymore, so I just mosh. That again, only way to stop me, most godlike W. That was perfectly timed. He was away from the enemy team, or he was away from his team, so it was great. If you're Johanna, by the way, and let me go back. If you're Johanna, try to walk away from your team if you still. Oh, it broke. If you're Johanna, try to walk away from your team if you have condemn up. That is the only way you could stop the Mosh, and it is the key to winning team fights because generally when you draft Johanna, you probably don't have any other way to stop it. So I'm gonna leave that video at this point. This is basically it. What basically happens at the end is we win the fight. We just force core and we just win. This is my video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Please give me any tips, anything else. But yeah, I'm Daihuu from Vox Nihili, and I hope you enjoy it.